Genocide. My name is Wally Sarkisian. We're just, last Sunday we were at Armenian Genocide Education Awareness was done by ANC, Western Region. And so we're bringing you three parts of the full event we cover there. So we're going to do the part one today and tomorrow and Thursday. Wednesday, because we have a special guest, we have to do the interview. So please welcome and have a look, enjoy it. We bring you the whole things end to end. So that's again today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And have a look at and enjoy it.
We said sold out. We didn't understand how really beautiful a sellout this would be. Today, we cannot continue with our program without remembering that March 25th, 2023, our brothers and sisters in Artsakh are blockaded from the rest of the world. We are still seeing ethnic cleansing and potential genocide perpetrated upon the Armenians. 8 years ago, when we began this problem, we thought we would worry about the rest of the world, never imagining that it would be, again, Armenians in this situation. In 2020, Aliyev waged an unnecessary war for territory that was not his, and unfortunately succeeded. Armenia lost over 4,000 of its soldiers, a generation of brilliant young men, most of them between the ages of 18 and 22, with more than 1,000 living with unimaginable injuries, including chemical warfare wounds. Other dictators watched. No one stopped Aliyev. No punishment for these atrocities. So today, we have the Ukraine. Lessons we should have learned: genocide unpunished is repeated globally. Would you all please stand for a moment? This in reverence and commitment to those young men who gave their lives, including the young soldier that was just killed this week. May their memories help us to fight even harder for peace and prosperity. Thank you.
Now, to lead and continue today's program, I would like to welcome our special guest, who we are honored to have with us this afternoon, Emmy Award-winning Fox 11 News anchor, ANCA-WR Armenian, as this year's Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome. Nice to be with all of you. Talene, thank you for the kind words, all of our distinguished guests. An honor to be here to celebrate these outstanding individuals who are really doing so much for our community, and on a deeper level, bringing so much meaning to the loss of the 1.5 million Armenian souls back during the Armenian Genocide. It gives us great pause to remember our past, to continue on with our present, and of course, to look forward to the future. But we must acknowledge the past in order to move forward with the future. And it is through that we are able to give meaning to their memory, to their legacy, and to know how important it is to do what we do in our own daily lives, because our ancestors are such a big part of who we are. And by teaching the importance to these students, we can continue to send out that message. It's really about humanity At the end of the day, it's about teaching the younger generation what it means when there is hate in your heart, what it means when you dehumanize someone, what it means when you don't respect your neighbor. So these are deep, important messages, and these are the individuals in this room who are helping carry on that very message for the younger generation. So I've always had a great appreciation for educators. The job they do is just phenomenal. But until I became a parent, I didn't realize even more so how much my respect goes out to these incredible teachers. And then I think we can all relate with the fact that we had COVID, we had online learning, and that was a challenge, right? The patience these teachers have is just incredible. It takes a special kind of an individual, one with that patience, one with that curiosity, with that hunger, with that passion, to want to teach the younger generation to open their eyes or see from a different perspective they otherwise would never have. These are the people who make our society stronger, enrich our everyday lives, and so for that we are so thankful for the people in this room and for just our past experiences. In fact, I was thinking, we've all had people in our lives, maybe we were lucky enough not to just have one teacher, but many teachers who made a difference in our lives. So for me, it was Mr. Urban in 3rd grade, and I grew up in the South Bay of Palos Verdes, so I went to an American school, but Mr. Urban had this, it wasn't for the Jolly Ranchers, he did have a giant jar of Jolly Ranchers, and we were able to go and take one when we did something worthy of a Jolly Rancher. And as a child, I don't know why that meant so much, right? You couldn't just have your parents buy you a bag. But it meant so much when you were told you could get up and you could go across the room and take one of those Jolly Ranchers. To this day, when I see that candy, I think of him, and he has since passed. But he was the type of person that made us all feel important and gave us confidence and made us feel respected. And I think that is where the core of my confidence actually comes from and grew. From 3rd grade, that one person. So if we think for a moment, there has been at least one person in each of our lives who's been able to do something like that. So today we're honoring and recognizing incredible individuals who've gone beyond what is necessary to talk about a really important part of history that sadly, still many people may not know much about. And this is, this is history that deserves to be told. It's an injustice to not tell, not just history, but correct history. Words matter greatly. So I certainly grew up at a time when Armenian genocide was never in my textbooks. And I was thinking about this. I don't think that was ever a subject matter which was discussed in, obviously, elementary school, high school, or even college. And the only reason I know about it is because I happen to be Armenian. So the closest thing I've ever come to in grade school to anything Armenian was actually just seeing the word Armenia. And I remember highlighting it and underlining it and circling it and getting so excited to just have the name of where I come from in a book. And I know many people in this room relate to that feeling because we might still do it today. I include myself in that category. But the fact that you felt all of a sudden validated and respected and acknowledged, like you mattered, meant so much. Now, when I think about the fact that the depth of that, that was just a feeling that sometimes it feels silly. I felt that way, but there's so much depth in that because society was ignoring an important part of history, and it's shocking, almost disappointing. It's baffling. It's also insulting, and I really hope that my children never have to feel that way. So certainly things are changing, and that's what matters, and the people in this room are part of that change. So thank you to all of you. Leads me to this. When I think about the people in my life who learned about Armenian genocide or Armenian culture, Armenian traditions, it happened to be people who were in my life, my friends growing up, right? So because of me, they were able to be introduced to this part of history. Later on in my life and my career, whether it was Idaho Falls or Portland, Oregon. There are people now who actually know a part of history they had never known. And so there's something beautiful in the sense that we all individually, you don't have to be a teacher or an educator, can go around the world and make a difference, whether it's sharing the history of our people or the music or the art or the food. We're able to teach a community about who we are. And I remember the first time I spoke about the Armenian Genocide on Fox 11, it was for the 100th anniversary. We used to do a segment called Big Deal or No Big Deal, and it was a topic would come up, and we would discuss, I'd sit there and discuss if we personally felt it was a big deal or no big deal. And so the topic was President Obama at the time did not acknowledge the genocide. So the year had come and gone, and once again he had not acknowledged it. And you know, I remember being very hurt that day. I mean, I know politics are politics, but I remember being very hurt that morning. And Steve Edwards, I remember turned to me, he's like, are you going to be able to handle this segment, or are you too emotional? I said, no, I can do it. And I did it. And I said things that I don't even know, it just came out of my mouth. It all made sense, thankfully. When I looked back, I was able to articulate exactly what I was feeling. Somehow I had the strength to do it, but I remember being very upset by it. But what was amazing was all of these viewers, and when I say non-Armenian viewers, it meant so much more to me to have those people thank me for talking about something like that and for telling them about something like that. The emails and the phone calls and messages, they were saying, wow, how did I not know about this? At that moment, I realized what I was saying earlier, that we each have a duty, and that is our duty, to speak the truth and to go around and share our story. And that is something that is not lost on me, and I'm very grateful to be in a position where I'm able to do that. And there are many people here who are able to do that in whatever capacity it may be. You can make a difference, and that's really the takeaway here. And so tonight, or not tonight, usually it's an evening event, this afternoon, we are going to give credit to everyone who's working toward that goal. So, as
you've just heard from an Emmy Award, highly respected, accomplished journalist, ANCA-WR as an anchor for KCAL LA Fox TV, has become a familiar and trusted face for Southern California. People tune in just to hear her voice. Araxia has an impressive background in journalism. Born in Armenia, raised in the United States, she holds degrees in broadcast journalism from Syracuse University, where she honed her skills in writing, reporting, anchoring. Since then, she has worked as a reporter, anchor, and now she is an Emmy Award winner. Her performance, her professionalism, integrity, and passion for storytelling made her one of the most respected journalists in the industry. Araxia was honored by ANCA-WR 2019 Gala with the Excellence in Media Award. She is most importantly loved and cherished by her Armenian community for her courage and tenacity in speaking up when our people needed most, and you just heard the Obama example. She is my role model and my shiro. When I grow up, I want to be just like her. Oh wait, I have grown up and missed that mark, but I can love and respect her as a grandmother, knowing she is the role model for all our grandchildren.
Thank you. I get very uncomfortable, but thank you. I'm humbled by it. Really, people say, you know, we're so grateful for what you do, but the truth is I can't do what I do without all of you. So it's a community effort, and that is not lost on me. So thank you very much. Okay, one moment. We're getting, you know, some changes happening. This is like live TV. All right, let me make sure I have everything in order. So where were we? Okay, so we're going to introduce some of the dignitaries and elected officials who have joined us. to celebrate. I will say all of the names. If you can kindly hold your applause until the end. If you are here, you're more than, we're happy to have you stand if you wish, or you can just move on from there. So we will begin with Burbank City Mayor Constantine Anthony. It's like live TV. You didn't follow my instructions. Let's try. I know. He deserves it. But let's hold our applause until the end, please. All right. Burbank Unified School District Board Clerk, Dr. Armand Agakanyan. Maybe it's my fault. I should pause. You know why I paused? I feel like I mispronounced your last name. Agakanyan. I got it. All right. These are Armenian last names. Burbank Teacher Association President Diana Abasta, Glendale Mayor Artie Kasakian, Glendale City Council Member Dan Rotman, Glendale City Council Member Ellen Asaturian, Glendale Clerk, City Clerk Dr. Susie Abajian. We have Glendale City Manager Rubik Ulanyan, Glendale Community College Board Member, Dr. Sevan Benelian, Glendale Community College Board Clerk, Desiree Portillo Rabino, Glendale Community College Board Member, Dr. Armina Hagopian, Glendale Community College Board Member, Yvette Varkanyan Davis, Glendale Community College Superintendent and President, Dr. Ryan Corner. We have Glendale Unified School District Board Vice President Jennifer Freeman, Glendale Teachers Association Vice President Emily Rogers, Los Angeles Community College Superintendent Dr. Francisco Rodriguez, Los Angeles City Council Member Hugo Soto Martinez, Los Angeles Unified School District School Board Vice President Scott Shermelson, Los Angeles Unified School District School Board Member Rocio Rivas' Policy Director Elena Zeltzer, and Pasadena City Vice Mayor Felicia Williams. Artie Chapyan from the Office of State Senator Anthony Portantino, and David Dry and Helen Chavez from the Office of Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barker. Okay, we can. Oh, just kidding, one more. Dr. Lisa Nashuya and Dr. Nune, hold on, Mikhaelian, did I get that? From the Office of Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda Solis. All right, so we also have those who will be honored. The following officials have prepared some certificates for the honorees, and so we have Assemblymember Laura Friedman, Supervisor Barger, Senator Portantino, City of Glendale Mayor Artie Kasakian, Los Angeles City Council Member Paul Kukorian, we have Los Angeles Unified School District Scott Shemerson. And with that, I would like to invite the representative of the ANCA Western Region Board of Directors, liaison to the ANCA Western Region Education Committee, Ms. Anahit Oshagyan, to give today's welcome address, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you so much. It was very amazing. What a hard act to follow. Before I begin, I just wanted to announce that we do have a white BMW for 64GL387 is blocking and needs to be moved. So if you are the owner of the white BMW, please move the vehicle. Good afternoon, esteemed honorees, distinguished guests, friends, and family. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the ANCA Western Region, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you all. We are delighted to have you join us to recognize and honor outstanding public school educators Ana Quintanilla, Violet De Luna, Celeste Lau, Manuel Lopez, Halaki Osean, Anita Kazarian, Kali Satamian, as well as outstanding diplomats, scholars, and pillars of higher education, Dr. Stepan Asturian and Dr. Fashi Boradian. These outstanding educators, please, they deserve it. These outstanding educators have not just taught about the significance of the genocide and its aftermath. They have inspired and empowered generations of students to take action not just for the Armenian genocide, but to take action and prevent all injustices. We also have a journalist, Christina Pastrucci, joining the ranks of honorees for exhibiting exemplary courage while reporting from the front lines of war. Some wonder why we continue to hold this event and our steadfast advocacy for recognition of the genocide during one of the most challenging and critical times in the history of our people. Genocide fatigue is a phrase I came across while reading a newly published novel by a young Armenian woman from the Bay Area. The phrase struck me. Some are tired. Some want to move on. Some scoff at our continued boycott or struggle. The Biden administration recognized the genocide a couple of years ago, they say. What's the point of continuing this fight? To others, such as myself, it's simple. The genocide and attempted annihilation of our people continues. There was the devastating war of 2020, and now the blockade waged by Azerbaijan continues to hold hostage, cut off from the rest of the world 120,000 indigenous Armenians, deprived of food, medical supplies, or access to health care and other necessities, including disruption of electricity and gas supply during severe winter conditions. The blockade against the people of Artsakh, our people, Armenians, has been ongoing since December 12th, 3 months, 1 week, and 4 days now. We can't afford to harbor genocide fatigue. Almost every day, we hear about the aggression and breaches of the Azeri military into the sovereign territories of the republics of Armenia and Artsakh. Psychological and physical torture are constant in the lives of the Armenian people. This is the same genocidal campaign begun over a century ago, which continues to be waged with impunity by the descendants of the same perpetrators of the genocide of 1915. The existential threat of our people is imminent. We cannot and will not stop our advocacy. We must and we will soldier on. We soldier on by continuing to educate the world and by recognizing outstanding educators who go above the call of duty to ensure this dark chapter of this history is taught and not forgotten, to ensure that justice prevails. For those who are unfamiliar with the Armenian National Committee America Western Region, allow me to provide a snippet about our organization. It is the largest and most influential Armenian American grassroots advocacy organization in the Western United States. With a network of offices, chapters, and supporters west of the Mississippi and affiliated organizations around the country, the ANCA Western Region advances concerns in the Armenian American community on a broad range of issues. Nearly a decade ago, we created the Education Committee with the goal of educating students, teachers, school districts, and administrators about the Armenian genocide. Thanks to the dedicated members of the committee, students and teachers now have a plethora of resources to learn about our history, about our current struggles in Artsakh. The incomparable Alice Petrosian, who we've already met, a tireless lifelong educator and chairwoman of the Education Committee, will tell you more about the work of the committee shortly. In addition to establishing the Education Committee, we operate through 28 chapters throughout the western half of the United States to ensure proper recognition in all public sectors of the Armenian genocide and ongoing genocidal campaign, and advocate for just resolution of these still unpunished crimes against not just us, but against humanity. We are few, but we are mighty. We work around the clock to counter Azeri aggression and Turkey's stubborn denial of facts and continued attempts to erase Armenia off the map and fabricate history. Some of our notable accomplishments: 2 years ago, after years of hard work, we were instrumental in having the Biden administration finally recognize the Armenian Genocide. Through our advocacy efforts, 49 of the 50 United States and the U.S. Congress with overwhelming majority have recognized the Armenian Genocide. Working with local and state educators, genocide is now included in the curriculum framework in California. We organize advocacy days to raise awareness about the Armenian Genocide in state capitals in our region. We continue to support the Armenian American Museum. Last weekend, we had an amazing gala that's currently under construction to spread the word about our rich culture and history. As we do every year, on Monday, April 24th this year, we will once again march for justice to the Turkish consulate on Wilshire in Los Angeles, alongside an extensive coalition of partners. And recently, joining forces with the Armenian Action Network, we are currently working diligently to ensure we receive an Armenian checkbox on the U.S. Census, which will allow Armenians to be counted and to receive significant resources as a result. Coming to today, we salute and thank our honorees for standing with us on the side of justice through education. Together, we will not waver nor cave into the fatigue in our pursuit for justice. Last but not least, a huge shout out to the remarkable Education Committee and Sleepless Awards Subcommittee and staff for your dedication and tireless work in making this beautiful program possible. Thank you all for your attention, and please enjoy the rest of the program.
As you continue to enjoy your lunch, I would like to bring your attention to the screen behind me. There is going to be a presentation about the GENA Teacher Fellowship Program. This is an opportunity for public school educators to provide the Genocide Education Project. It's about a 7-minute video.
You don't remember?
No, I don't think it wasn't.
The Armenian Genocide. Have you heard about the Armenian Genocide?
Like you saw
The Armenian Genocide. No.
No, I never heard of it. These answers shouldn't come as a surprise to us. Generally, across the United States today, the Armenian Genocide still is not being taught in a standardized way. The government of Turkey's very well-funded campaign of denial has suppressed this education in the United States for decades. A general lack of exposure to teachers about the available resources that exist for them. All of these factors inspired the establishment of the Genocide Education Project, or GENED.
This has been a culmination of a few years worth of work.
Thank you very much for taking the time out.
Our mission is to help teachers across the United States incorporate the lessons of human rights and genocide with a particular focus on the Armenian Genocide and its connections to other genocides of modern history into their classroom curriculum.
Just one moment.
If you don't have history, you can't understand.
Zaytun villagers in a Syrian refugee camp.
I like the geographic stuff there, and it's so easy to feed that into other rise and falls of empires.
So we, for years, dreamed of the idea of bringing U.S. teachers to Armenia to give them a longer, more in-depth teacher training. We were able to do that in July 2022. 15 teachers from 14 different U.S. states.
I think I was really shocked to discover that we were the first inaugural group to be brought here for this kind of program. That tells me a lot about the work that's ahead of us as educators.
We partnered with the Armenian Genocide Museum and Institute.
It is important that the training was taking place at AGMI because the people, every moment they can visit the museum and being in contact with team members of the organization apart from AGMI, they can ask questions and receive answers. Also, the Armenian point of view is very important.
Getting a lot of information in the morning sessions was incredible.
During the course of our experience here, we've been given so many materials, lectures from experts in the field, primary sources, and lesson plans and things that we could implement. And I feel that it is of the highest quality. I feel very comfortable that the material we're given is vetted.
This 10 days helped me contextualize this history better. I loved all the speakers. Everybody had something different to bring in. I enjoyed some of the history. I loved the museum. The exhibition here is so incredible.
And I think had I not come on this program and not been here this week, I wouldn't have thought about denial as a self-contained unit for the course. But especially being here, I'm realizing how important it is for students to think about denial.
I find myself gravitating towards and spending important time on the denial stage. It as a stage is what allows the perpetuation of further genocides. Students need that component. Students need to hear that there are efforts being made to deny you the understanding of what truly happened.
Actually, what is so wonderful about this whole agenda is the mixture. The academic lecture, being in the museum and walking right through it as we're talking about things, then the field trips. There is no better way to learn a culture than to actually be out in the culture.
You would think that studying about a genocide for 8 or 10 days would be really depressing, but it was a great group of people. We had excellent outings, amazing food, and great experiences that I will cherish forever.
I've done programs like this before, but what really made this program unique was the personal stories that you all brought in. I mean, we felt like you were sort of opening up your cultures and your families and allowing us a piece of them, and that really meant a lot to us.
We can see that this culture is still alive today, and that there's an ongoing effort to preserve it.
Particularly impactful was visiting the memorial itself. To be able to walk to the memorial, with the memorial in the distance, and see this eternal flame, and be able to lay a flower was a particularly moving experience.
Seeing the landscape, the topography, the hills, understanding how that maybe even impacts the outcome of battles during World War I, seeing gravestones for the most recent war in 2020, meeting the people one-on-one and being in the room with them, not through Zoom lens. It doesn't filter anything. It exposes the rawness of the history and the way in which the legacy of that history permeates the air in Armenia. You can't get that in California.
Complete the first phase of the program in Armenia, then return to their home regions and are responsible for creating a professional development training for other educators in their regions. And in this way, we can really expand the number of teachers teaching about the Armenian Genocide and the number of students receiving this education.
It's a question of what is the quality that we want our American teachers to have. And we really want to make a dent in teaching the Armenian Genocide. And if you want this quality, I think this is the only way that you can do this.
All right, that is pretty phenomenal, right? It also made me miss Armenia. I haven't been in many years, so it is time to go. that was a taste you had of what this program is all about. And so wonderful to hear the experiences. All of these different people from all kinds of backgrounds were able to take away from going there to Armenia and actually listening and experiencing from the very land. And being, you know, outside of the classroom, outside of the textbook, there's something to be said when you're actually there in person. To continue on with our program, I'd like to invite the Education Committee members. We have Lucy Martirosyan, Medina Kalagamos, and Zari Kagobian to share a few special recognitions.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lucy Martirosyan. I hope you've had a chance to visit the authors, meet and greet that we have set up in the back of the hall. We have with us today 2 new publications, the award-winning memoir, Forbidden Homeland, Story of a Diaspora, by our very own committee member, Katya Karagosian, and the beautiful coffee table book, Armenia the Lone Stone, by author and photographer, David Karamian. Additionally, Dr. Kay Muradian, seasoned author of My Mother's Voice, is here donating the sales of her book to the ANCA. Thank you to all our authors who continue to tell our stories in print. Now we would like to take the time to recognize and share our thanks for the special contributions made by our event sponsors. Platinum level, we have Dr. and Mrs. Vigen and Nora Hosepian, ANCA's Western Board Chair. Gold level, we have ANCA Western Region Tri-City Chapter, CSUN Armenian Studies Program, Glendale Teachers Association, Burbank Teachers Association, Mr. and Mrs. Levon and Silva Kirakosian, attorneys at law, Mr. and Mrs. Bahik and Alice Petrosian. For silver level, we have Lucina Martirosyan, in loving memory of her father, Ashok Martirosyan, Anahit Oshagan, ANC Western Region Board Member, Hermine Paganyans, ANC Western Region Board Treasurer. Bronze level, we have Bartan Achabalian, Supervisor Kathleen Berger, Mr. and Mrs. Aram and Laura Kaputian, Harut Ronosian, Dr. Kay Muratian, Dr. Levon Marashnian, and Supervisor Hilda Solis. Paper patrons, we have Sako Berberian, ANCA Western Region Board Secretary, Western Prelacy Board of Regents, and we would like to thank you all for your contributions to our event today, for your continued support for educational activities in our community. Without your support, events like this wouldn't take place. Thank you so much, everyone.
We partnered with Genocide Education Project, USC Shoah Foundation, and Face the History and ourselves to make certain we provided numerous options for educators. We have attended conferences held by the California School Board Association, the California Teachers Association, and the National Education Association to share our history and asset for resolutions on the recognition of the Armenian Genocide. We led the work in having, I don't have my glasses. In having resolutions passed in higher education institutions and school districts, not only to recognize the Armenian Genocide, but to provide professional development for their educators and staff. We also led the work on creating age-appropriate teaching curriculum for elementary schools. We're constantly and continuously providing professional development programs about our past and present history and culture. Now we're moving forward to lead the most critical program in partnership with Rooted and Rerouted to document the Baku pogroms in a formal manner. It is critical to further have evidence that the genocide has never stopped and continues today. We're passionate about this project, and today your support means we can grow this project and help provide our students with first-person accounts of the Baku tragedies. While evil dictators revise history, we will document and preserve history. We were the first to develop lesson plans for the arts of war and continue to encourage the teaching of our arts of history. Yet another important move to the great dismay of our enemies. This April 24th, over 500,000 students and 100,000 staff will not be in schools across LAUSD because of the work of this committee and the moral fortitude of the LAUSD board. The resolutions calling for a non-student day were passed by board members unanimously 2 years ago. Now, we're working with LAUSD leaders to teach every student why it is that they are commemorating April 24th. This is just the tip of the iceberg of the work that needs to be done. Join us, support us, and we can make a difference from here for Artsakh and Armenia. No more genocides for humanity's sake.
Hello, I'm Lydia. It's so nice to see all of you. Thank you for being here, thank you for your support, and I hope that you enjoy our lunch. We've done the best that we can to make this a very fruitful and productive day for you as you listen to us. Thank you. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome our past honorees who have joined us today.
Good job.
We thank them for their dedication, contribution to our community, and for their continuous support. Please stand when I call your name and bring your standing as honor, and please don't hold your applause until I mention all the names. 2017 honoree is Huri Manjigia. Ms. Huri Manjigia is a science teacher at Toll Middle School. Do I see you stand? Ms. Talina Arsenia, our own Ms. Talina Arsenia, 2018. Dr. King Muradia, 2018. Muradia, Dr. Leva Marashia. Dr. Marashia is a professor of ethics, ethnic studies, political science, Middle East, Russian, and U.S. history at GCC. Ms. Armina Alexander, 2022. Is she here? Yes, okay. Principal of Jefferson Elementary School in Philadelphia. Ms. Patrick Davarhanian, 2022. Mr. Davarhanian is a social UCLA. The lecturer and author of several books. Please stand, Ms. Petrosian, Dr. Petrosian. Thank you. Now let's have a round of applause for all of our Thank you again for all you do for our students and for continuous support and for everything that you continue to do for our students. Thank you.
And to introduce today's honorary award certificates, I would like to invite to the podium Education Committee members Katya Karagosian and Arpi Krikorian.
Good afternoon, everyone. All honorees will receive a certificate which will be presented by Nora Hovsepian, ANCA Western Region Chair, and Alice Petrosian, ANCA Western Region Education Committee Chair. Each certificate features an image of one significant Armenian intellectual who was arrested and or killed as a result of the events of April 24, 1915. As a teacher, author, and scholar, Ms. Zabel Yesayan was committed to contemporary social issues of the time. After she escaped arrest, she went on to lead relief efforts for refugees and orphans affected by the atrocities that continued throughout the Ottoman Empire. She is survived by many of her famous works, including Among the Ruins, which was her report on the 1909 Adana massacre. Author and poet Taniel Varujan was known for his passion, elegance, and patriotism demonstrated in his works. Armenian village life inspired many of his poems. Many of his works were published after his death. Taniel Varujan was one of the many writers martyred in 1915. Krikor Zohra was an influential Armenian community lawyer, author, and politician. He was a great defender of Armenians in the Ottoman Empire. He was arrested and executed in the Armenian Genocide. Sia Manto was another renowned Armenian author, poet, and national figure. He was a highly educated man who traveled to other countries for much of his life. He was also arrested and killed during the Armenian Genocide. Gomidas Vartabed was an Armenian priest, composer, choir master, and musicologist. He is known for traveling to predominantly Armenian populated areas, documenting unwritten songs passed down through oral tradition.
So I hope you enjoyed it. So this was part one. Part two, it's coming soon. And, actually, tomorrow we're gonna do part two, and Thursday part three. And tune in tomorrow on Wednesday, 10:30. I think 11 o'clock. We have a special guest. You're gonna like it. And you know those things involve in lots of hard work. All those ladies. They work day in, day out to put all this show together and find those people, motivate those teachers to start talking and educating the kids. So thank you for watching.